What's up? It's Andy,
And Ashley Purdy.
and we're from Black Veil Brides, and you're watching the Kerrang Video Podcast.
Joining us on this week's Kerrang podcast is Andy Six and Ashley Purdy of the Black Veil Brides. How you doing?
Doing great.
Fabulous.
Last day in London before we go home.
Yeah, you're on this week's cover of the magazine.
It's the finest cover the magazine's ever had.
So how's it feel? How does it feel to be on the cover of the magazine?
Amazing. I just saw it, so I'm still riding the high right now of that. I mean, it's here.
Yeah, we were
Let me
greeting
pull
with
it
them
here.
when we first
This.
came in, and so what a greeting.
There was a woman on the elevator that was walking out and had. I was like, "That's my face. Can I have that?" And so, no, I'm very excited. It's great. You know, you guys have been amazing to us so far. So we'll hopefully keep the relationship going. We'll do more covers.
So you've been on tour with Murder Dolls for the past sort of 10 days. How's this first UK tour been for you both?
It's been amazing. Every show's been sold out. I mean, for us to be able to tour with a band that we liked a lot growing up and knowing, we know the songs and everything. Ashley and I stand side stage and watch the band play. And then to get an opportunity to play in front of an audience that we've never played in front of before and to see that, kind of universally, no matter where we go, the Black Veil Brides fans or the Black Veil Brides army, as it were, they're everywhere, and and it's just as loud and just as crazy in England as it is in the States. So that was a fun experience for
Still
us.
coming out in their war paint and showing up, before the gig, before we even get there, throwing panties on stage and the whole thing. So
Yeah.
it's followed us since the States. It's come
Right.
out here too, so it's
Cool.
great.
I mean, there's been a lot of pictures that fans have taken with you both at the shows and sent into the magazine. Have you had a good chance to hang out with the UK fans and find out?
We do that
what
every
they're
night.
like?
Yeah, it's hugely important to us that we get a chance to do that. So, yeah, and just the opportunity to meet the people that really make the band happen. I mean, so many bands are so wrapped up and they think that they're so above anything, but we remember that if we're going to be the biggest band in the world, then we have to make sure that we remind our fans how much we appreciate what they do for us.
Yeah.
So
Have you got?
we love you,
Have
you and you.
Have you got many gifts? Have you had anything
Loads.
presented to
Loads,
you?
yeah.
Gifts.
Great stuff, great stuff. And I'm not going to say anything specifically because every time I do that, then that's all. So anything. If you'd like to bring us anything, just make sure it's cool.
I like Lamborghinis.
Yes. Lamborghinis, that's good. Just bring us Lamborghinis. That's the new gift.
We'll take those.
Cool. I'm sure you'll have a whole fleet waiting for
Yeah,
you.
let's hope so. It'll be like Oprah. You get a car and
Yeah.
you get a car.
So you've been up and down the UK. What cities have stood out for you personally?
Honestly, all of them.
It's
It's been kind of just a
sea of
whirlwind.
whirlwind, yeah. Playing every night to sold out shows and just.
Obviously, London was exciting because, as a kid growing up in America, London is the town that, is England. I mean, that's really, to be honest, when you're 6 years old, you don't know of any other parts growing up in America of England except for London. So when we first got to play there, but the cool thing for me is, like, I've never been to this country before, but going up and down the country and playing in different cities, learning so much about what people enjoy and the different cultural things that are here. And it's very similar to the States in a lot of ways, but finding out what type of music kids like and how much passion kids have for music in different areas, and learning that there is this whole country that we've never been to before, but there's so much like us, and they have so many. And I feel like sort of universally, the more we travel, the more we're going to find that rock and roll music is sort of the same everywhere. It's just different cultural things that people get a little tiny thing.
Cool. How have you managed with the accents? Because the English accent can veer very differently, from town to town. Have you had any sort of language barriers, even though you
Could
both
have been
speak
worse
English?
than our driver and our
Yeah, our driver
crew guy
is
Scottish. So.
Yeah, he's super Glaswegian,
Yeah.
almost to the point where you can't understand him. Our guitar player Jinx calls him Scrooge McDuck,
Yeah.
Right.
and you can't understand him, but we love it. I mean, to be honest, I wish I had that accent. Every day I tell him that he's my favorite thing in the world because he could say anything and it sounds awesome. There's never a boring moment. He could be telling me to put my shoe on, and I'd be say it again, say anything. Even the other thing, that's it. But he has different eyes.
Yeah.
So if he said there's different eyes. Yeah. So
When you go back to America, you're going to sort of continue work on the new album?
Yeah. We've got, like I said, 8 songs in. We've got 2 weeks left. Finish the record and then go to Japan and play some shows with the Murder Dolls in Japan, and then we do a headlining show in Japan, and then come back, and then we start our next headliner in the States. So
Yeah. I mean, how would you describe the new album compared to We Stitch These Wounds?
well, the new album is, it's the best album that's ever been made. So that's ever. So once you lay that on the table, no, honestly, it's just a huge, heavy rock and roll record. it's my favorite album that's ever been made, and honestly, I can't see any of our fans that like the first album not enjoying it. I think it's just a natural progression for the band. Everything's just a little bit bigger. The songwriting is improved. Everything. The choruses are bigger. The solos are bigger. The drums are faster and heavier. Everything's just better.
Yeah, in Kerrang recently, you mentioned that there's the kind of 80s rock feel, but you've got the hardcore roots and more gang vocals and stuff.
Yeah, I think that for us, it's always just kind of keeping that balance, and we obviously love 80s rock, and that's our big influence, but we want to make it modernized. We don't want to do. I love the bands that sort of do the retro rock sort of thing, but to me, it's never been about that. It's always taking something that did exist and bringing it to a modern context and making it so it's palatable to today's generation. Because I mean, as much as I love glam rock, we also have 25 years of experience in rock and roll music after that to play on, and all these bands that have existed and growing up and sort of learning all these different things. So we like to try to be an amalgam of all the things that we loved.
So Rancid's Tim Armstrong's. He's written a song or two.
And he's been on the record. So we're very excited when we go back. Actually, going to track one of the songs that he wrote with us. So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it like working with such a punk legend like Tim Armstrong?
Yeah, for Ash and I, we love obviously love Rancid. Out Come the Wolves is top 5 record. Yeah, it's like
records, yeah.
So meeting him initially, just meeting him was awesome because you see the guy walk into the studio and you're like, fuck, I had a poster of you on my wall,
Yeah.
But we went to his house, we ate pizza with him, we watched movies, and then he's just a really genuine guy who really likes rock music, and I think that's the coolest thing for me and for us as a band is that there's so many people that look at our band and that obviously if you're a dude and you're really cool and you like really cool underground music, you probably already hate us just based on the fact that people like our music that are younger. So what's interesting is that someone like Tim Armstrong is so solidified in that world of cool dude, nobody questions Tim Armstrong's cred, but to find out that he was such a fan of ours and he understood so much of what we're doing was a nice feeling for us. I mean, ultimately we don't care if people don't like us, but it's nice to know that if someone is in that world that you grew up loving and that you have so much respect for it and they enjoy your band, it can be better.
Each Stitches ones had very specific themes of kind of fighting against the world, kicking back against people's negativity and stuff. Are you carrying this on in the next album?
Yeah, I think the theme is sort of it's loosely a concept in the sense that we had the idea that after the first record came out, the idea of the first record was it was more internalized. It was be strong in who you are internally and don't let other people affect you. And so the notion for the second record, straight off the bat, we talked about is what if, after that first record, not only are fans or listeners of the band strong within themselves, but now they're actually outwardly going, and grabbing the world by the throat and taking what they want. And imagine a world where an army of outcasted kids now have so much strength within them that they can take over the world. And then you sort of get into this sort of whole post-apocalyptic thing where there's, a whole new world and a new order based on everything that is come from the outcasts and the rock and roll kids that didn't necessarily have a chance before. So it's not it's not necessarily like a concept album, but that's the ideas that we had going into writing the lyrics and writing the songs for the record.
So you're going to be back for the Download Festival at Donington.
Yes.
How does it feel to come back to because it's like the spiritual home of heavy metal for the UK, and you've seen the pictures of all the classic rock acts throughout the years playing there. With the iconic tire in the background.
We're here to carry that torch, man. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll take that honor.
That's one of the coolest things, Donington and everything. You have the bands that you grew up loving and seeing that, we're going to be on that stage. It's very exciting.
Cool. Welcome.
Make no mistake, we're gonna kick ass on that stage.
Yeah.
And so we're not just humbled, we're also going to kill. So we're excited and then we're going to kill.
That's brilliant. What can we expect from a festival show? Will it be vastly different energy-wise to a club show?
I just see the paint melting a little bit quicker on our arm.
Yeah. You may catch the 2 hours of sunshine we get in the summer.
Oh yeah?
So, yeah. It's only a 2-hour window, so...
I like the idea of it being a summer festival where there won't be sun. That's kind of nice.
Sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it's not. That's cool. So thank you very much for joining us on the Kerrang podcast. We'll see you again.
I'm going to go read our issue. Here, I haven't read it yet, so...
Well, we'll let you do that right now.
You guys, you read it. Read the whole thing, cover to cover, but specifically our part. I mean, read our part more, but read the whole thing. But our part.
Kerrang!